What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with some more unpopular opinions. Episode 3 here with Brian Daigle from Tottenham on Tour. How are we doing today? We're ready for round 3?
Ready and waiting. Let's do this.
Would you like them to be more unpopular? Are they unpopular enough?
Do you know what? But they've been mixed, haven't they? But you're at the wheel. I'm ready for whatever comes our way. I'm doing this blind.
Is at the wheel.
Exactly.
Tell me, how good does it feel?
It feels wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, let's go. Episode 3 of Unpopular Opinions. Next one is Josh Postlethwaite. He says, Moussa Sissoko would be a great player in a Conte team. He'd be a good physical presence in the middle of the park, or could be deployed as a wing-back in emergencies. He's got a lot of determination and fitness that Conte loves. Bring him back this summer. Are you re-signing Moussa Sissoko, Brian Daigle?
Only if we can go back in the DeLorean and get him whilst he was still at Newcastle.
Then you would sign him
If we
back.
got a young Sissoko during his Newcastle time, then I reckon with time under Conte, maybe there may be a player that exactly would do this. But hell no, re-signing him now. Not a chance.
Do you reckon he could be a good in the Conte team, though?
Maybe. But I just likened him to a Didier Zakora. He could run brilliantly, but ask him to pass or shoot.
And you're asking for trouble.
Exactly. So, yeah, I can see where he's coming from in the style of player. But, yeah, as long as only if we could get him back in his Newcastle days where he was young and he could mould him, but not right now.
Fair enough, yeah. I wouldn't sign Sissoko back now. I even think if I even had a time machine, I wouldn't sign him back again, just because I think we could have spent that 30 million somewhere else in a better place. As much as I love Sissoko, and I think he was a hard worker. I think in theory he maybe could work in a Conte team, but I wouldn't want to risk it right now.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Calvin Fernandez, who says Perisic won't be able to cope as a left wing back with the pace of the Premier League. We need another left wing back and use Perisic to cover the attacking options. He sees Perisic more as the front three than the wing backs. What would you say to that?
So the great thing is that we have versatility with him. Mm-hmm. That we do have. What I will say is Perisic, we don't know how he'll do with like you said, the pace of the Premier League week in, week out, but this man is built and is durable and has speed in abundance. So I don't think the pace of the games are going to get to him. I think the physicality and obviously how long and how intense these games are is going to be a bolt out of the blue for him, because obviously in Italy it's a great league, but there's nowhere near the intensity of the Premier League. So I wouldn't mind seeing him in a forward position sometimes, but in that case, Sessegnon would A, need to be fit, or B, another wing back has come in. But I can see what he's saying with the attacking options. He could be a viable option.
I think maybe in emergencies, but I think he can more than keep up with the pace in the Premier League. I know Serie A is a different league, but he was, I think, he ranked as one of the fastest players last season in Serie A. So there's no reason why he's
faster than any Spurs player at the moment.
So there's no reason why. Yeah, I know he's getting on a bit, but as long as he keeps up his fitness and looks after himself, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to keep up the pace in the Premier League. I don't see why. So I'll disagree with that. THFC for Life says Rafinha is average. He benefited from Bielsa's system and played worse under Jesse March. I'd rather a Charlatan who's a more established player. Is Rafinha average? He's an average player, he's saying. Benefited from a system.
I completely agree he benefited from a Bielsa system. Let's face it, if you're an attacking creative player and your coach tells you attack, you're going to get the best out of him. And obviously when the American, was it March, came in to take over, obviously they needed to be a little bit more pragmatic. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's average, but obviously in a Bielsa team, he was always going to shine. He was always going to shine. Going as far as average, I don't know, but Richarlison, we all know what you've done to me with the brainwashing, so I agree with that part.
Exactly. I don't think Rafinha's average. I think he's got star quality about him. I disagree with that notion. I think he's got a fantastic shot on him. Dribbling abilities is really, really strong as well. I think he's a strong player and he's got a really good work ethic as well. So I don't think he's just average. I think he's shining in a poor team. I don't think there's a lot of quality in terms of, I don't think there's a lot of players with high quality around him, and I think he's left to do a lot of the work going forward. I know he's in a system that attacks a lot, but I think he shines in that system, and I think a lot of other players aren't on his level. So I don't think he's average at all. I think he's a lot better than that. Yathareth Sharma says, if given enough game time, Steven Bergwijn can produce better goal contributions than Son and Kane.
Well, I was with him up until he said Son and Kane. I was totally on board because I think we're both big Bergwijn fans.
Yeah, I
obviously.
like Bergwijn, yeah.
And obviously we got to see the 2-goal Leicester miracle. I'm a big fan of Bergwijn. I think it's time to cut ties. And I think given minutes, he could have done a lot more and produced a lot more for us. And maybe we could have got better results against other games where we didn't pick up 3 points. But Son and Kane, no.
No chance. He wouldn't get anywhere near. He's not just doesn't have that quality that Son and Kane have in front of goal. As much as I do think he's got more quality than he's showing. So I can't. I think you were with me up until Son and Kane. If you would have said can produce similar goal contributions than Kulusevski, I was like, oh, maybe.
Or more or someone like that. You're
maybe,
like, yeah.
You know, but Son and Kane, no.
Yeah.
I have to disagree with you on that one. Max Power says, we put too much stock into a few good Doherty starts and then he sustained a serious injury. If we go into next season with Doherty and Spence, it will be a big problem position next season. A lot of people have stated that. I kind of agree. I think as much as in theory you could say Spence could hit the ground running and he could be a very good option and Doherty would have had a very good run of form, does going in with those two leave more questions than answers in the sense that Spence, we don't know for sure if he can make that step up immediately, especially in Premier League football, playing consistently, whether he can show that quality, making that step up, and in European football as well. And Doherty, will he get back to his best as quickly as we'd like? So, from 2 points of view, it's do you feel like there's more questions or answers coming with those two?
Yeah, I'm definitely with questions. We were saying in the first video, you look at it, Jed Spence coming into this team, there is going to be a lot of pressure on him if he is the first choice right back or right wing back. It's pressure that he would never have had to deal with. Obviously, Champions League, hopefully top 4, and maybe a title push, whatever. We were saying in the first video as well that we need to get this position finally locked and suited with the correct player after Carl's gone now, 7 years?
Yep.
Around 7 years he's
Carl
been gone.
Walker.
Yeah.
He left in 2017. So
Okay, 5 years. 5 years, sorry, my bad. So 5 years, and we have not resolved this issue. So for me, this is the number one area we have to get right and sort out. So yeah, I'm completely with the guy on this one.
I agree. In theory, I'd like another really good experienced option rather than going with just those two. But I guess it's about how much work we really want to do. I mean, in theory, I'd love that, but I've got a feeling that we're going to go forward with those two. Maybe in January, if it's really not working, try and reinvest. Thomas says, Sessegnon will by mid-season have developed enough to be starting over Ivan Perisic. Bold take, but I feel this will be his breakout season. Could you see it being an option? Do you see with how you're seeing Sessegnon develop over last season? I think we can all say he's starting to find his feet. For sure, he's had some impressive performances. With Perisic being 33, do you reckon it's definitely a possibility that by mid-season Sessegnon could be our number one left wing back?
It's a possibility. I don't see it though. I don't see it, and I am a fan of Sessegnon. But obviously, what we've got to remember when we say this with Sessegnon, even when the season finished, he had to withdraw from the under-21s because he got injured again. This is the huge question mark over Sessegnon, isn't it? Because every time he does get a run of form going, or he does get a consistent run of games, a niggly injury comes up, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think the pre-season under Conte could be incredible for him, and he could be really, really pushing for Perisic's place. But as we said in the first conversation on this one with Perisic, I think he's here at number one for the duration of his contract.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, we only have Perisic for so long. But do you reckon you don't think it's possible Sessegnon could start performing better than Perisic? You never know. If he starts really finding his feet and showing that ability in the final third he was showing in the Championship.
What a lovely dilemma it would be to have, wouldn't it? To have two serious left-backs at the top of their game, really, really challenging each other to keep that position fresh and to keep that as a really hotly contested position. I would say more. Do you know what? This season is for Sessegnon to learn, develop, and try and take in as much information and experience that Perisic can pass on to him, ready to give it next season. The season, sorry, 2023-24 season, and really, really push. But I really hope so. I think this is a make or break season for Sess with his injuries.
Last one of the videos from Bob Spur TV with his unpopular opinion.
Superman.
And he says, there is no way Poch would have got these players to top 4 like Conte, and I'll include the January buys as well. Do you think Pochettino, with the squad we have right now, would have got us top 4?
So the way I look at it and break it down is a lot of these players were here when he had them and got them.
Lloris, Kane, Son,
Dyer, Davies. Who else was there?
Winks.
All right, that was minus Winksy. Skip, but Skip was way too young back then. But no, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. I think the way the league looked and how far we were behind at one point, I think only Antonio Conte would have been able to do that. With the gap that was there. With Poch, obviously, we were there constantly. We were in the top. So for the job Conte's done and what he had to work with and coming in November, I agree with Superman. I agree.
Would Poch have got us top 4 with this team?
And let's do it from when Nuno left and Conte came in, not from the start of the season.
I don't think he would have. Yeah, I think it needed a Conte kind of because I don't think Pochettino would have solved the defensive issues the way Conte has with his back three. I don't think going back to even with a back 4 under Poch right now, we would be as solid as we are, and we needed to shore up that defence and stop leaking goals to make sure we could give the attacking players a platform to build on. And I think Pochettino, the way he plays, I'm sure he would have given it a good go, might have got close to it. I just think we probably would still have been leaking too many goals if Pochettino came in. And then that could have been sorted in the summer. But I think this season, I probably agree. I don't think we would have got top 4.
Yeah. Only other thing I add on that as well is what we got to remember is I wouldn't have seen Poch going as mad as Conte did after the defeat against Burnley and some of the press conferences he did. I don't think he strikes the fear into people like a Conte. I don't think he has obviously hasn't got the trophies in the cabinet to say, listen to me, this is what I do and this is what you get. So yeah, I don't think he would have.
All right, well, that is episode 3 of Unpopular Opinions. Thanks again to Brian Daigle from Tottenham on Tour for joining us for some great reactions and stuff like that. We'll be back for another episode as well. So thank you again for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.